I am gonna talk about, yeah, how do we encourage and how do we sabotage, which I think is a great word, um, spaciousness. And first of all, in the research report, there's a kind of theoretical, I suppose, more theoretical framing around this. And we look at it in two sort of ways here. We can look at the individual, we can look at the collective, we can look at internal, and we can look at external. And when you put it in this sort of framing, there are various things that we do to encourage spaciousness for ourselves individually, internally. Yeah, and there's lots of stuff we do to sabotage. So we have all sorts of cognitive dysfunctions that narrow the world, that narrow our perceptions. We overly focus, for example, on particular ways of knowing, very often propositional ways of knowing that can sabotage spaciousness. We can learn practices like mindfulness practices that can help engage the spaciousness mode. So there's a whole kind of pile of things that sit in the internal individual zone, if you like, and we talk more about that in the report. Then there's some stuff around us as individuals interacting with the world out there. So we can encourage our own sense of spaciousness through our engagement with the natural environment, for example, through acting, going out into the world, going for a walk. We can sabotage it by constantly scrolling on our phones and engaging in certain ways in technology. We're impacted by our actions in relation to other people and the people that we surround ourselves with that either encourage spaciousness or close it down. So it's interesting to look at areas around that. Then more collectively, collectively we develop our perceptions. We get together in groups where we either open the way that we think about things through our inquiry, through our asking of questions. We close it down through methods of bias and groupthink, for example. So there's a whole territory of work looking at how we form our view of the world collectively together, and some of the things that we can do to expand that, and some of the things that we very often do that contract it. Lots to do with power and dysfunctions around power and how that can narrow our perspectives, or conversely, how it can open it up. And that links into the work that John and I have done over the years. And then again, collective action out in the world, the physical environment, the built environment that we have around us is a really obvious one here. Some of the systems and the processes that we set up in our organizational spaces that collectively help us to either expand or narrow our view and our interaction with the world. So there's this more sort of, I guess, theoretical look in the report. So if this is of interest, head in that direction.